Okay, when you want.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Joaquin. Last week I spoke about my favorite British idol. Is Graham Coxon. He's the best man of the guitarist of the British rock band called Blue. And today I will speak about my Spanish favorite band. It's called Los Planetas. In English, The Planets. But after starting, sorry, because what? Okay. This is Graham Coxon, the guitar that I spoke on the last week. And today I will talk about my favorite Spanish rock band. It's called Los Planetas. This is a photo of the year 1993, 1994. Okay, see, so the underground the Spanish underground. But before starting, I want to know: have you ever visited Spain, or do you know something about the Spanish rock?
Yeah.
What do?
I remember there was a big punk scene around the late 90s.
Yeah.
Was it Escorbuto?
Escorbuto.
Yeah.
Yes, they are from the Basque country.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they are it's a punk band or hardcore band.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Very famous too.
Yeah.
In the underground, Spanish underground of the 90s. Yeah, yeah. So, so you know something, about the Spanish rock, and you have been in Spain, Barcelona.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So, Los Planetas, or the planets, are formed in 1990, in the beginning of the 90s, in the city of Granada. Granada, this is one of the 8 capital city of the region of Andalusia. It's between 2 hours from Seville, is the capital, and I live here between Cadiz and Jerez. So it's 3 hours the distance. Well, the two thinking heads of the band are principally Juan Rodriguez, best known in Spain as Joda, but in English is Jay. He is the singer and the riding guitarist, and Florentino Muñoz, Florent. Yeah, in Spanish and English the same. He is the lead guitarist. But they both are not a great musician. Jay is not a great singer, and Florian is not a great guitarist, similar to Graham Coxon, for example. But they both can create an explosive atmosphere that became of them two Spanish icons. So the life of the band is so long. So I have decided to divide it in 3 periods. Here I show all the covers of the discography of the band, and I will explain the different phases of the band. Well, I will change the side because I think that you can see the screen better. The first first period is started, covers the year 1993 to the year 2000. In that period, we can observe a great influence of the British underground of the 80s, for example, bands like Mercury Rev or Spaceman 3, and influences of other bands, like, for example, the Joy Division, because Ian Curtis is a man in Spain. So, in 1993, they recorded the first extended play, an EP, called Medusa, in English, Jellyfish. But the question, what is a EP? What is a extended play? But a extended play is a middle long play. It's an album, 4 by 4 or 5 songs. In 1994, they recorded the first studio album called Super 8, Super 8. This album was a real revolution in the rock history of Spain, because they produced a new song so fresh that broke with the sound until that moment exists in the country. So they have the album. It has a lot of critics for and against. Why against? Because there are many people who say that the album only was noisy and lyrics misunderstood. From my point of view, the Super 8 is the best album of the Spanish rock history, so I suggest listening to it. And 1996, they recorded the second studio album called Pop. In English, it's Pop too. And it maintains the line of the first one. It's the most commercial album of the band. But few months later of the publication of this album, the problems arrived to the band. What problem? Firstly, some members of the band left the, 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 the planets, and Florence has problems with drugs, cocaine and heroin. These circumstances provoked Onjay to write the third album in the year 1998. It's called Una semana en el motor de un autobús. In English, it's 1 week on a bus's engine. But what is the meaning of 1 week inside the bus engine? Well, it's an euphemism of an illness called epilepsy, because the cure of the epilepsy is something similar to be 1 week inside a bus's engine. Okay, it's the most the darkest album of the planet, and it's the best-selling rock album of the Spanish history. Since that, here started the second phase that covers the year 2000 to 2007. And in that phase, the Planets recorded 3 studio albums. The first one, Unidad de Desplazamiento, in English, Displacement Unit. The second one, Encuentro con Entidades, is Meeting with Entities. And the third one, Los Planetas contra la Ley de la Gravedad, the planets versus the law of gravity. Well, this is, in this period, we can observe a new change, a new stream, because the sound became more clean, but they didn't lose the essence. An important anecdote of this phase is that Jay and Florence built their own studio album in the city of Granada. So they will produce the disc or the album in her own city. The studio album is called the studio recording is called the Refugio Antiaéreo, and is one of the most important recording studios in Spain, along with the one of Paco Loco that is in my city, in El Puerto de Santa Maria. Paco Loco is a great producer of Spain, of the indie wave. And the last phase, we have only two albums that covers the year 2007 to the present. And we can observe in that phase another change in the line, because they started to mix flamenco with rock. And what is flamenco? Flamenco is the folkloric art of the south of Spain. People in UK and in France think that flamenco is in all the Spain. No, flamenco is only in Andalusia, the region of Andalusia. And every province of Andalusia has its type of flamenco. For example, Huelva has the fandango, Seville, the Sevillana, and Cádiz, my province, las alegrías, the happiness. So, since that moment, the band has experimenting a new revival, coming back to be the great band that he once was in the 90s. And which album they recorded in this phase? The first one is La Leyenda del Espacio. In English, it's The Legend of the Space. It's not an important album. But the second one is very, very important in the decade of the 10th. It's called Una Opera Egipcia. In English, an Egyptian opera. Which is the meaning of this album, an Egyptian opera? Well, an Egyptian opera is a gypsy expression. Okay, it comes from the folkloric of the south of Spain, and it's a gypsy expression. And it means that a masterpiece is as perfect that its origins come from the divinity. It's something that created or produced by God or by the divinity, something perfect. Okay? So this is all about the story of this great band, like every great band. So I wish you have learned something new about the Spanish rock band, And obviously, I suggest listening some songs or some some albums that are available on YouTube or Spotify, so you can listen it free. So I only have to say thank you very much for listening me, and I wish you enjoy
Do you have a specific song that you would recommend?
Well,